police files. It was the 1980s and the Glock was just starting to gain in popularity, but it was about to get the biggest client possible, the majority of American police forces. Until that point, police were mostly armed with a classic Smith & Wesson .38 revolver, but they were quickly being outmatched by criminals. There were mutual incidents where they either lost officers or had to retreat simply because they couldn't match the criminals' fire. Gaston Glock saw this opportunity and marked his lightweight, fast-firing, easy-to-produce handguns to police forces, and they responded, with most major American cities contracting with him eventually, along with government around the world. But if something is good for the cops, then it's bound to be just as good for committing illegal activities. Everybody loves a Glock. With any arms race, the bad guys are going to get into the game eventually too. As the Glock became popular with officers, criminals armed up as well, and a rumor started to spread. Because of the Glock's polymer exterior, many people believed it was actually a plastic or porcelain gun that would be invisible to metal detectors. You could smuggle it into a bank or an airplane without being detected, perfect for a robbery or hijacking. There was just one problem. It wasn't actually true. The Glock has a polymer exterior, but it's actually over 80% steel in total weight, to say nothing about ammunition. It would be picked up by all but the weakest metal detectors, likely resulting in a lot of surprised to criminals. Movie star. It wasn't long before movies and TV got into the act of promoting the hottest gun around. It made one of its earliest appearances in the forgotten action movie Free Jack, where it played opposite Mick Jagger. It would later be welded by TV heroes including Agent Fox Mulder of The X-Files and the Best Picture-winning heroes of The Hurt Locker. But its most iconic appearance would be in Demise Hard 2, Demise Harder, where Bruce Willis's John McClane would claim it as an undetectable porcelain gun. Hey, John McClane kicked asses, not taught science classes. The main thing that visually separates the Glock 18 from its predecessor is the rotating lever-type fire control switch, which is placed on left side of the slide towards the rear. Indented dots indicate the selected firing mode when the switch is in different positions. A single dot located above the switch indicate the semi-auto mode, while dual dots below it indicate full auto firing. Well, it's very similar to the others, with one big difference: it can shift between semi-automatic mode and fully automatic mode. So technically, the Glock 18 is a machine pistol, or a pistol-sized weapon capable of fully automatic fire, and in fully automatic mode, it can shoot as fast as it can be reloaded, with a maximum capacity of a stunning 1,200 rounds a minute. There's only one problem: the danger of a fully automatic handgun in the hands of criminals would be massive, and most countries, including the US, have banned their sale. Shooting lyrics. Movies and TV weren't the only area where the Glock became famous. In the 1990s, there was no faster-growing music than rap, and top rappers like Dr. Dre and Tupac Shakur frequently rapped about violence and gang warfare. Their weapon of choice in many of these lyrics? You guessed it, the Glock. Not only did it have a reputation as a powerful and deadly weapon ideal for shootouts, but its name just sounds good for lyrics. Smith & Wesson doesn't quite roll off the tongue the same way. Of course, as the East Coast versus West Coast wars heated up, some got more up close and personal with the gun they wanted. It was a Glock that killed Tupac in a still unsolved murder. Glock is a way of life. For many people, Glock isn't just a handgun, it's a way of life. Not only do they collect the firearms, but they're members of the Glock Sport Shooting Foundation. Aiming to raise awareness of target shooting at the sport, it has over 22,000 members and organizes over 100 shooting events every year. All you need to do is compete with a Glock pistol and pay a membership fee, which is included in the purchase of a Glock gun. While there's some controversy over the Foundation's family-friendly shooting events, Glock defends the group as a good way to teach firearm safety, growth, and expansion. When Glock was founded in 1963, it was a tiny company of only 3 employees, meaning Gaston Glock had to do much of the work by himself. Since then, it's become an international sensation, but is still a small company by comparison to many international brands. It's still privately held and can be invested in on the stock market like other major gun brands such as Sturm Ruger. While much of its manufacturing is handled outside the company, the actual Glock Corporation only has just under 1,200 employees as of 2013, a fraction of what other weapons manufacturers do, and a testament to its humble beginnings. but the Glock Corporation may be facing some serious interior problems. The story of the attack. He is the man behind the gun. You don't mess with Gaston Glock, his most trusted associate tried. For a man whose life's work has centered around guns, Gaston Glock's closest call came in an unexpected way. It was 1999, and he had just uncovered that one of his most trusted advisors, Charles Everett, had been embezzling from the company. Glock confronted the man personally, but Everett had come prepared. He had hired a French mercenary to assassinate Glock. Lured into a dimly lit garage in Luxembourg by his colleague Charles Ewert, the Austrian Glock stopped to look at a sports car at Ewert's suggestion. Suddenly, a massive masked man leaped from behind and smashed a rubber mallet into Glock's skull. Ewert fled to the stairwell. "I'm a coward," he later told. With Glock off balance, the attacker landed another crushing blow. Springing up on legs toned by miles of daily swimming, Glock thrust his enormous fist into his assailant's eye socket. As the would-be assassin staggered, Glock pounded again, knocking out a few of the man's teeth. The bloodied attacker staggered, then collapsed on top of Glock. Charges of attempted slaying were brought against the attacker, the French-born Jacques Spartacus Pecheur, 67. This was how the police found the two men at 9:30 a.m. on July 27, 1999. Thus, the father of the Glock proved he lived as he designed, lethal perfection. Trouble in embezzler's paradise. But this story will take a turn for the macabre with the fallout of the attack. You don't build an empire without making a few enemies. No one knows this better than eponym and current head of America's favorite gunmaker, Gaston Glock. He has been targeted by multiple embezzlement schemes over the years, and it wasn't low-level employees looking to get rich. High-ranking members of the company have been indicted and convicted for racketeering, including the former CEO of the U.S. subsidiary Glock Inc. So what made this company so vulnerable to financial crimes? Well, it probably doesn't help that the company's structure is more than a little complicated. The company uses shell companies around the world to run its business, helping it to avoid high taxes in developed countries by operating in tax havens. After the assassination attempt on his life, Glock ordered a 16-strong team of investigators, lawyers, and accountants, run by a man named James Harper III, to conduct a company probe in 2000 to locate Glock funds diverted by Ewert. The gun magnate's newest headache comes in the form of a federal lawsuit filed last week in Cobb County, Georgia, by Jeffrey Pombert, an attorney who claims that Glock and his associates turned on him when a Glock-ordered internal investigation into an alleged criminal enterprise within the company showed that the dirty business had actually been orchestrated straight from the top. Pombert's case is the first to come from 5 men who have filed notices of intent to sue the city of Smyrna, Georgia, if they are not compensated for what they claim was their unwarranted criminal investigation by police, allegedly undertaken on Glock's request. The investigation, instigated by Glock himself, revealed a can of worms which diverted aspersions on his own business ethics. Pombert's suit alleged that Harper and his team uncovered more than they set out to. Glock seemed to be participating in the scheme as well. According to the suit, Glock was paying himself inappropriate royalties for trademarks that never existed. He has been targeted by multiple embezzlement schemes over the years, and it wasn't low-level employees looking to get rich. High-ranking members of the company have been indicted and convicted for racketeering, including the former CEO of the U.S. subsidiary Glock Inc. So what made this company so vulnerable to financial crimes? Well, it probably doesn't help that the company's structure is more than a little complicated. The company uses shell companies around the world to run its business, laundering money through a network of sham international companies from Hong Kong to Aruba with phony payments, rents, and loans, and paying Glock-owned companies that provided neither services or products. Variety is life. What 2 gun aficionados have in common with Pokemon players? For some, you've got to catch them all. That's why Glock releases a lot of varieties to its standard models. While the Glock 17 and 19 are the most challenging models, there are many variations of each with slightly different sights, frames, and other features. They've also introduced new smaller models ideal for concealed carry, which means they have a shorter and slimmer build designed for slipping into a pocket. Jack of all trades. The Glock 17 was the biggest hit in the company's history, as the semi-automatic polymer pistols started taking over the market. But that didn't mean they became exclusively a gun manufacturer. The company later filed patents for all sort of high-quality field equipment, including a folding spade that could fit in an equipment kit and a method for removing heavy metals from water to make it drinkable. The Glock Medical Sciences Division even patented a safe method of treating vaginal bacterial infections, which has likely caused some shocked expressions at gynecologists' offices. A long life. Gaston Glock was born in 1929, lived through the Second World War, founded his company 58 years ago, and is still going strong at almost 92 years old. He is still the majority owner of the company, although that may be pending. He and his wife of 53 years divorced in 2011, and battles are still ongoing. With a net worth of just over $1 billion, he remains active in both charity and politics in his native Austria. But that long life hasn't been without close calls. Glock 34 handgun, $700. In John Wick Chapter 4, much as in John Wick Chapter 2 and John Wick Chapter 3, the character of John Wick, played by Keanu Reeves, uses his preferred Terran Tactical Modified Glock 34 pistol once more. The Glock 34, a 9mm handgun with a long slide that uses the Glock 17's chassis and a 5.31-inch barrel, is built on the Glock 17's chassis. It is much simpler for John Wick to aim and fire a weapon correctly as a result of the larger slide and barrel, which also enhance the sight radius and improve velocity. John Wick's Glock 34 comes with a Terran Tactical Innovations Combat Master Kit that includes a number of enhancements meant to both enhance the operation and appearance of the weapon. This kit includes highly visible sights, an improved texture grip, and a grip that was redesigned especially for the user. This gun has a match-grade barrel, which helps to boost accuracy in addition to having lovely cuts on the slide. It has undergone additional modifications, making the Glock 34 TTI Combat Master the ideal gun for John Wick's missions. It allows for quick and simple reloading of the user's weapon because it has a built-in mag well. It is simpler to remove the mag and quickly switch mags thanks to the mag release's scalloped cut. It allows for quick and simple reloading of the user's weapon because it has a built-in mag well. The trigger has also been undercut and the grip has been reduced, all of which makes it easier to control the rifle and keep a strong grip on it even in high-stakes situations. Additionally, the handgun includes a Timney trigger, which adds to its overall accuracy and precision. That's all we have for you, folks. Thank you so much for watching us today, and join us next time. Have a wonderful day.